What is up, beautiful people? Welcome back to the Under the Lights podcast by Mountain Sports. I'm your host, and today I'm here, usual, with Rock. And
What's up?
We got a very special guest today. If you're a Broncos fan, you know him, TheMadFanatic.
Welcome.
What's going on, fellas? How y'all doing?
We're doing great,
good,
man.
boss.
It's so
Doing
good to
good.
have you here.
Happy to be here.
Yeah, this one, it's almost like a dream podcast episode
Right.
for Bronco fans, I feel like. And the fact we get to do it's pretty cool. So
Yeah, absolutely. I'm geeking out over here. That's
know,
our
I am
guy
too.
right there, man.
So in today's episode, we are going to be breaking down the Broncos' schedule, each game, whether we think it's a win, loss, each breakdown of the game, and just our takes on the schedule in general. Let's get into it.
Let's go.
Before we get into that, though, I want to ask you guys a couple questions, get your thoughts on the schedule, all that fun stuff. So, MadFanatic, I'm going to ask you first. What were your general thoughts on the schedule as soon as they came out?
My first thoughts were it looks like a tough schedule. It looks like a first-place team schedule. So I expected it to be tough. I wasn't surprised. I knew who all the opponents were, actually, before the schedule came out. As soon as the season ended, I knew who we were playing. I liked the order of it. I liked that we were playing KC off the rip in their crib, get that out the way, while Patrick Mahomes is still less than 100%. I like that we have to start off, hit the ground running, instead of, getting a game like the Titans where we might, stutter step out the gate, not taking the opponent very seriously. So I like the schedule. I was excited. I saw 5 games that are kind of standalone games, 3 technical primetime games. Just looked like a fun year. Fun season.
It does look like a fun year.
Man, it does. It looks exciting.
What were your initial reactions on the schedule?
Yeah, MadFanatic just touched on it. It was the primetime games and how many of them we had. Like he said, we've got the 3 actually primetime games, and then we got the Black Friday against the Steelers.
And then the Christmas Day game.
And then the Christmas Day game against the Bills, which I actually think is huge. I think that's going to be such a huge game.
Yeah, so next that I want to get your guys' opinion on, what were your favorite matchups on the schedule? One game you saw that stood out to you and you're like, I can't wait for that one. MadFanatic, what was that one for you?
I had 3. I really have all of them because they all look like fun games, to be honest. I don't see any duds. Every single game I'm like, ooh, I can't wait to watch this one because of this, and this one because of that. But if I had to pick 3, I would say the first one against the Chiefs, because the Chiefs have become like the real rival to me.
Yeah.
It's Monday Night Football. It's the first game. I'm super excited. I'm ready for that right now. I'm hosting a watch party in Grand Junction for that. I'm excited already. And then the Bills game on Christmas, that's a Christmas gift from God right there. I can't wait for that game. I know I'm going to be finished opening the presents for my daughters and glued to my TV. I'm going to have a blast on that one. And then the third one, I don't know. I was going to say something else, but now, the Patriots. I got to go Patriots. I got to go Patriots. If I had to pick 3, I'm going Patriots because I live out here in Connecticut. So that's like a rivalry game for us locals. A lot of people talk junk to me that love the Patriots. My sister-in-law, a lot of people. So I'm going to be excited for that one. I'm going to have a tailgate party and everything out there.
I love that. That's
awesome.
awesome.
That Patriots game is like a rivalry renewed.
Yeah, for sure.
That-
That was our target game for the road trip we were going to go to this year. But then when it landed in January, we were like Boston, Foxborough, January. No, let's go to LA and watch the Charger game instead.
Yeah.
So the game that actually stood out to me as kind of one of the biggest ones, I think, is the game against the Seahawks on Thursday night, the defending Super Bowl champions. I think that's going to be an incredible game. It's really going to see. I mean, it's a tough schedule anyway. And by the time we get to December, to have that game come up in late December, I think it's really going to test the mettle of this team for sure. And I'm excited for it.
Yeah,
I love that they kind of bookend our schedule with tough games.
Yeah.
Like, we got some late playoff caliber games and we got some early ones. Instead of starting off all hard and then it's and then are we ready for the playoffs? But now it's no, you got some playoff caliber everywhere throughout the schedule. So I think we're going to be so prepared going into the playoffs.
Yeah.
I think so too. We're definitely going to be tested going into the playoffs.
Oh, for sure. Yeah. So one of the last questions I have about you guys' initial thoughts on the question is, what was one game that stood out to you that felt like the most important, almost as a must-win, that you saw it and you're like, oh, if we drop this one, that one's going to be rough?
I think for me, it's the divisional games, and it always is. So that never changes. We got to win those, right? We got to win those so we can win the division. I don't know that there's one particular game that jumps out to me that says we've got to win that. I say, to me, if we've got the track record that we do, where we're just constantly winning at home, and then we sneak out the more important road games and we win those, I think it's going to be a great season. But we do have some very tough road games.
We do.
Starting off with the Chiefs. I mean, that's gonna be a tough game to come out the gate. So to me, I'm not gonna call it a must win, but I think it's a game that we definitely need to win just to show that, hey, we're here. Don't look past us.
No,
yeah, I'm with you. I wouldn't say there's any must-win games when you're 0-0 this early in the year.
For sure.
But I think that if winning that first game will be huge for the Broncos. Huge, because you're starting off with a full game lead on the Chiefs in the division. You already beat them at their crib.
Yep.
Got that out the way. Pat Mahomes isn't 100% yet. And Talib brought up something interesting on Arena Gridiron. He was like, man, road games favor great defenses.
True.
He was like, great defenses don't have – the same way the offenses don't have to deal with the crowd noise on the road, at home, he was like, defenses don't have to deal with the crowd noise on the road. So you can communicate. He was like, I can't tell you how many times I'm trying to tell TJ Ward, and I can't get his attention, and I can't make the adjustment, and then the guy makes a play on us. He's like, when your team has a better defense than offense, those road games kind of benefit you.
That's a great take.
That's an interesting point. I've never heard anybody bring that up before.
That's a great take. I like that.
Yeah, that's a good one. So now I want to debate a little bit before we get into the schedule breakdown. 2 questions. First one, is this schedule – let me rephrase. Is this a playoff caliber schedule? Meaning, after this season, are we going to see the Broncos in the same spot they were last year or even get further into the playoffs than they did last year? MadFanatic, you want to take this one first?
I always think the Broncos win in every game. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter who we play. I don't think there's a team better than us. And I think that even when we're not that good, because I have like orange glasses on the inside of me, like my heart is really like, I see the best in this team. But man, on paper even, not just my MadFanatic eyes, this is a great football team. We bring back everybody. Continuity is huge in football. You keep your coaches. That's a very, very big deal. We're returning 10 of 11 starters on defense, all 11 on offense. Like, this team is going to be fun to watch. You add Waddle, you add some draft picks, Jonah Coleman. Like, this team should definitely make the playoffs. This team was in the Super Bowl. If it wasn't for an ankle, it wasn't even the ankle. Even if Bo didn't play, even if he didn't play, if Sean Payton doesn't second-guess that call,
yes,
when he could have went for the field goal or just ran it down their throats when it's 4th and 1, which is what he should have did. Quarterback sneak or a fullback or just run the ball, man. Don't get cute and try to do some swing pass. If he would have just did that, game was over. Broncos are playing in the Super Bowl. Now, we probably lose. We probably lose without Bo and without J.K., but we were a Super Bowl team. Now, if J.K.'s healthy, if Brandon Jones is healthy, if Bo Nix is healthy, I think the Broncos could have won the Super Bowl last year. This year, with the additions we made, with another year in the system, like I expect Evan Ingram to have a breakout year. I think the Broncos are poised to go to the Super Bowl, and this schedule, speaking of playoff schedule, is going to prepare them for that.
Yeah, I agree 100% on that take. Yep,
absolutely.
So the last thing I want to get into before we break down the schedule, recently Colin Cowherd said that the NFL was targeting Sean Payton and the Broncos because of their dislike towards each other. How do you do you guys think there's truth to that, or do you think it's all just what he's saying to get views on the show?
Yeah, I don't think Roger Goodell's going to go down to Martha, who is the scheduler in the NFL. I don't know if that's her name. I'm making this person up, right? I don't think he's going to walk down to Martha's office and be like, hey, Martha, I really want you to give it to the Broncos. Let's give them the hardest schedule we possibly can because me and Sean Payton don't get along. I don't think that's the case. There's way too many logistics to work out in a schedule to really try to stack something against anybody. So, no, I don't see any validity to that at all.
Yeah, I think that's a crazy take. Crazy take. Roger Goodell does not have time for that. And even if he did, like, the only conniving thing he's doing is like, ooh, what order could I put these games? Because the opponents are set.
Right.
Like, I knew the Broncos were playing 3 years ago outside of the people who finished where we finished in our division.
Yep.
Like two or three games, everything else is set in stone. So I don't think, where he put the bye week was very fair. Like where whoever the schedule person put the bye week was very fair, right in the middle of the season.
Right.
I don't hate it at all. I like getting KC out the way early at their crib, having it down the stretch at our crib.
Yes.
I love it. Like I said, I like that we bookend kind of tough games on both sides, the beginning and the end of the season, so we're prepared going into the playoffs. And also, we kind of get a chance to get punched in the mouth in the beginning.
Right.
Like, okay, we're going to have to wake up to start the season and play like that for the rest of the season to stay competitive. I love it.
That's for sure. Plus,
That's true.
Martha's a good woman. She ain't going to cook the books for us.
Yeah.
True that.
Martha,
True that.
stop.
So now we're going to hop into our schedule breakdowns. Each game, week by week, what we think is going to happen, how it's going to go. Before we do that, we're going to take a quick second and get a word from our sponsor.
Pathway Home Lending, your home lending and real estate experts. If you are looking to buy, sell, or refinance a home, please reach out. Happy to help. Telephone number is 303-748-3799, or you can reach us at our website at pathwayhomelending.com.
Starting off the season, the Broncos head to a familiar foe, enemy territory. They start the season in Kansas City, Monday Night Football. What do you guys think? That game's interesting. I think it's a great start to the year.
Yes.
A great test to begin the year. But I think there's a lot that could go into this game that's going to kind of foreshadow how the season plays out.
Definitely. There's a lot of thoughts that I have about this game, but what it really boils down to is starting the season like this against the Chiefs in Arrowhead. This is the type of game that playoff teams don't fear. They embrace it. This is what they want. They want to get punched in the mouth. This way they can adjust and pivot and continue to move forward. So I'm excited that this is how we're starting the season.
Yeah, I agree.
MadFanatic, what do you think? What do you think about that Week 1 game against Kansas City?
I think it's going to be a beatdown. I think the Broncos are going to beat them down. And I'll tell you why. I think they added a solid running back. They did. But I think that their quarterback is going to be hobbled. I don't think he's going to be as mobile as people think. And I think that's one of the things that makes him who he is being able to extend plays, just get out the way. I think that quick twitch kind of thing, he's going to lose some of that. And I think on offense, I think our team is going to be so much more explosive than they're ready for. I don't think people realize Davis Webb is a different dude. I don't expect 1,000 screen passes, extension of the run game. I think J.K. is a different dude than R.J. I think Coleman is a dude that's going to keep the chains moving.
Yes.
I think the fact that Kansas City traded both of their starting corners, one that's really, really good, by the way.
Right.
Yep.
Traded them both, even though, in my opinion, they got the best corner in the draft. He's a rookie.
He's a rookie, right?
And he's going to have a welcome to the NFL day going against Court Sutton and Marvin Mims and Jalen Waddle and Troy Franklin and Evan Ingram. This could get so ridiculously ugly for their team. I think it's going to get out of hand early, and I think that the announcers are going to say, yeah, it's pretty clear that Pat Mahomes isn't really all the way there. He's definitely limited. They're going to have a baked-in excuse for why we beat them early so they can keep the storyline interesting when they come to the crib later, but we're going to beat them at the crib too.
Oh, of course.
It's over. The crown is ours. We're winning the West every year for the next 20 years.
20. He said 20. Let's go.
You heard it here. All right.
Yeah, you heard it here. Mountain Sports, Under the Lights, by TheMadFanatic.
Yeah, one of my notes for the Chiefs games, I have Mahomes or Fields, Broncos win. So I think no matter who plays at quarterback, I think, like MadFanatic said, we dominate them and we come out and put our foot on their neck and show them that we run the West.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. One of my notes, it literally says pressure breaks pipes, right? If that defensive front can do their job, we can get Nick Bonito coming off the edge, wreaking havoc, Jonathan Cooper off the other side, and just staying in that quarterback's grill all day long. I think that's going to be the huge difference in this game.
Yep. Yeah, I think the one question mark is like, can we still get that pressure in the middle that we had with Allen and JFM? Can Roach come in and we don't drop off significantly? I think he can, because I saw glimpses of it in the Patriots game. I think the Broncos were watching Roach all year and going, you know what? We don't necessarily have to pay JFM $20 million because Roach could do it.
Absolutely.
Yep.
So I think I think it'll be a big test, and we'll see if we're right or wrong. But I think we're going to prove ourselves right for betting on Roach.
I think you're right. Absolutely. I'm with you. I agree with
So
that.
we all got a week 1 dub against the Chiefs.
I'm going dub.
Yeah,
Sweet.
for sure.
So moving on, week 2, we got our home opener against the Jags. I think this game, the boys already know that this is almost like a revenge game to them. Last season, the Jags were really the only team that dominated us and manhandled us throughout
In
the
our
season.
house.
I'm talking, but throughout the entire season as well. But especially in our stadium, they did that. And I don't think any one of our players is going to take lightly to that this season. And I think this is going to be one where we dominate the Jags.
Yeah, I think the squad saw this schedule and immediately circled that game. I think everybody did, including the coaching staff. Like, all right, this one matters to us personally. And so I think it's going to be a big one. Again, on this one, I think that, if I had to think about what the key to the game was looking at last season's game, it was a lack of a running game.
Yep.
We couldn't keep the chains moving. We couldn't keep the offense on the field. So if we can establish a running game early on this and stay proficient as an offense, I don't think the Jags have a chance.
Yeah, I think we made it. Like, that game looked on the scoreboard way more out of hand than it was, too.
That's true.
Like, Bo had a really good game.
He did.
We had a couple missed tackles that should have been 8-yard passes, go for 60, and a touchdown. Fumble that was stupid. I think the Jags got worse in the offseason, in my opinion.
I agree.
They lost some key players. I think we weren't expecting that dude that was cooking all day on us. We weren't ready for that. Nobody, like, who's this guy?
Oh, yeah, Parker Washington.
Yeah, Parker
Washington.
Washington.
We weren't ready for that at all. And even what he was doing, like I said, was just a couple broken tackles that turned those plays into much bigger plays. But I think the Broncos, man, we got so much better. I think, like, we really addressed the issues that when we played them, like, I think we didn't. I'm not sure we had Brandon Jones. We might have. But I know we didn't have J.K.
Nope.
I know we didn't have J.K. And now we have J.K. We got Coleman. And we got Jalen Waddle.
It's a different squad.
That's a different team. That is a different team offensively. It really is. And defensively, just give some of them young guys another year in this system. The Jade Barons, for example, another year in this system.
The other day.
It's different. Because remember, Greenlaw was like, I don't want to play for the Broncos. Their system is too complicated. It's too much studying. It's too much
work.
Like,
too hard.
Really,
he said.
Yep.
Yeah, we work too hard. It's too complex. He's there for one offseason. Like, this is too much for me. I think that's why he didn't come in when he was 85% healthy. He's like, nah, I'm not really ready anyway. I don't want to look bad out there.
Right.
I think it was intimidating. But imagine all these guys. You keep the Singletons. You keep Jonah. You keep Sternad. You're keeping a lot of guys like, man, I know this thing. I know this system. You keep Vance. That was huge for the Broncos.
Oh, yeah. You said
He's supposed to be a head coach somewhere, at least a DC. But we figured out how to keep him as our DC. I think our defense is going to get even better.
Yes, sir.
Everybody
I agree.
is
Definitely.
like, wow.
Great take.
So we got back-to-back dubs to start the season.
We're starting 2-0 in my
2-0.
book.
All right. So next up, which I think this is the toughest game on our schedule so far this year. Week 3, we got the LA Rams coming to Denver Sunday night. I think this one's a tough one. You got a Super Bowl ready team that I feel like could have got better over the offseason, but kind of stayed still and almost prepared for the future rather than continued
the
for
Rams
the Rams.
with drafting
Yeah.
a quarterback.
Yeah, because they had a pretty quiet free agency, and then the draft they obviously took Ty Simpson in the first round.
Yeah.
So they
Well,
almost
they got those two corners from the Chiefs, though.
that is true. So I mean
That was their big glaring weakness.
their secondary was their weakness last year. So that again, I think this could be a potential Super Bowl preview in just week 3, and this is the toughest game on our schedule in my opinion.
Yeah, I don't know that it's necessarily the toughest game. I mean, it definitely is probably top 3 for me, but I still feel like the Seahawks is probably the toughest game on our schedule. But this one's going to be interesting because this could be one of those ones that honestly is going to come down to execution. So a couple of the things that I've got, kind of in my notes is that the defense needs to limit the explosive passing plays. They got to keep everything in front of them. Can't let anything get behind them because this team is going to come out trying to sling the rock. Red zone efficiency is the other thing that I really that I think that this game is going to come down to.
Yep.
Who's putting up 6 versus 3? And I think that's going to make the difference.
I fully agree. What do
So
you?
I think this game is very, very interesting. There's so many storylines and dynamics to consider.
Yes.
Like initially, I would say, man, coaching is going to be a coaching chess match, right? But I wonder, like, does Sean Payton have the discipline to say, let me not micromanage this one and still let my coordinator cook against this dude? You know, I think that's a very tempting to kind of let me put my fingerprint all over it versus does he let him go, especially depending on what he does in the first 2 weeks. So I'm intrigued about that. I do think they wasted a huge opportunity to get, another piece in the draft. And instead of getting Ty Simpson at 12, I thought that was crazy. I think he might have been available in the second round, to be honest with you.
Oh, for sure.
But I think that Vance Joseph versus their guy is a little bit interesting, too. I think that's going to be a chess match. At the crib, home opener, there's an added energy to it that I think gives the edge to the Broncos. I also don't know what's going on with Puka, man. Will he get himself suspended? Like, is he on drugs? Is he not on drugs?
Is he going to be in jail?
Exchange student? I don't know what he's doing, man. Puka's out here bugging. I think the Broncos have the slight edge in that game. I think being at the crib is going to be the difference. It'll probably be close, but I think the Broncos will get it done.
That's exactly what I said the other day when we kind of went over it. Is I think we edge out the Rams just a little bit, simply because the energy in the stadium and that it's in Denver.
To me, that is the difference maker in this game. It really is. It's because
I'm a little concerned about what Talib brought up though with the noise on defense against that team. You know what I mean? Because I'm like, dang, they doing a lot of stuff at the line of scrimmage, a lot of motion. You kind of might need to be quiet a little bit.
Now, you're not asking Mile High Stadium to be quiet right now, are you?
That's what I'm saying. They're not gonna. That's for sure. That. I'm not gonna. If I'm there, I'm not gonna be quiet at all. Right. I'm not. They're gonna have to figure out some sign language or something.
All right. So week 3, we getting the Broncos dub, or what are you guys on that one?
I'm going dub.
Dub. Yeah. So we got the Broncos starting 3-0.
Me too.
All right. I like it. I don't know if most people would agree with us on that one, but it makes sense. Starting 3-0.
I don't care if they agree with us or not. Our take is
our take. They don't need to agree.
Right.
Listen, I'm telling you right now, spoiler alert, I'm going 17-0 because every week, I'm looking at every game, one game at a time, and I'm saying, can we beat this team? And the answer is always yes for me.
Yeah.
The Broncos have to not show up or things got to not go their way, somebody get hurt, whatever. Otherwise, I'm like, they're the better team. If they play their best game and they play their best game, I got the Broncos every time.
I respect it.
That. Me too.
I respect it. All right, so next we got a big road test heading to San Fran to take on the 49ers.
Yes.
That is a test.
That's
Sheesh.
You know, this game is actually one of the more intriguing ones to me because – just like you said, MadFanatic, I believe that the Broncos can win this game. I just like you said, I think they can win every game, right? But we got to look at this from take off our orange glasses for a hot second and think about this game from just
put on the football glasses.
Yeah, put it into perspective. I think there's a lot of things that really kind of come into play here. The biggest thing for me, I think that the X factor in this game, let's call it the X factor, is the Broncos defensive front again. I think that they need to maintain their rushing lanes, not get themselves out of position, and we got to contain CMC if he's playing.
Yeah, I mean, by week 4, who knows, especially the way he's used and his injury history.
Right.
But in my notes, I have literally the biggest thing to beat them is put pressure on Purdy and then shut down CMC. You do that, and you got the win.
MadFanatic, what you think?
Man, I feel like on paper this game is tough because coaching, that guy over there might be the best.
Yeah,
Kyle might be the best, man. He's incredible. Shout out to his dad. He raised a real one. What they achieved last year with all those injuries, like no Fred Warner, like they were missing everybody on defense. They're getting most of those guys back. They added Drake Greenlaw. Greenlaw, when healthy, is a stud.
Yes, he is. When healthy.
I don't care for him because he doesn't want to be here.
Right.
And he's, soft, in my opinion. He's not a guy that plays, like, hurt. You know what I mean? Like, everyone's hurt. He's one of them dudes like, you know that movie, Are You Injured or Are You Hurt? He's like, he's hurt and he acts injured, you know? I think that's super whack. So he might not play, knowing him. But if he does, he's one of the best when he's out there. I think their defense is going to be significantly better than last year. I think CMC is one of the most unstoppable players in the history of football.
Right.
Yeah.
The way he has such natural hands, he can get in and out of breaks so smooth. He's amazing. I love that kid. I wish he was a Bronco.
Me
I
too.
wanted to draft him
Since day
badly.
one.
Yep.
But with that said, and I don't want to be betting on injuries, right? I know that they have a lot of soft tissue stuff going on out there in San Fran. We didn't win last time we went out there. And I think on paper, the Broncos are the better team. I haven't seen Davis Webb call a real game yet, but I believe in him. The little bit I saw from that one preseason game against Arizona, Sean's vote of confidence to go chase him out the building, like, yo, what are we doing? Letting him leave and going to say, yo, come on. We'll make you the coordinator. I'll give up play calling duties. Like, we got to keep you around, bro. That makes me say this guy must have something. He must really be one of them ones.
Yeah.
And the Shanahan thing, as much as I love Mike Shanahan, you got 10 coaches now in the league from the Shanahan tree, all kind of doing the same thing. So the coordinators are starting to understand what do you do against that when they're moving the Z around a million different ways. They're kind of learning how to stop it. I think Davis Webb is given a different kind of wrinkle where you don't really know what he's doing.
Yeah.
That is
You
true.
don't know what to expect.
That is true.
Especially that early in the season, I think it favors us.
Yeah. Well, the first comment I'm going to make about this, since you brought it up, is Mike Shanahan belongs in the Hall of Fame. Listen, NFL, put that man in the Hall of Fame and stop messing around.
I love Mike Shanahan.
Me too, man. I mean, he revolutionized offenses as we know it. It's incredible. He belongs
One cut run system.
Yep. Zone running scheme.
And he got to get credit for making Kyle.
Right.
He got to get credit for Kyle, too. That's part of his football legacy.
Add it to
True
his
that.
resume.
Yep.
Yeah.
Definitely. All right, so my keys to the game against the 49ers are we've got to stop the run. You know, that's going to be the bottom line there. We got to contain CMC if he's playing. You know, this is going to be a very unpopular take right now, but I think this is going to be a loss for us.
I agree with you on that one. We just struggle in San Fran. We struggle in San Fran.
Well, we didn't struggle in the Super Bowl with San Fran.
We didn't.
But we weren't playing the 49ers.
We weren't playing the 49ers.
That's true.
But the 49ers did get a lot better over the offseason, and I think they're ready to reload and go right back to the Super Bowl. So I think this is the first L on our schedule this year.
Yeah, I hate to say it, but I think it is. Now, if this was at home, I'd probably say it was a win. But being in San Fran,
we're going W. Because this is the thing. Let me tell you the difference maker for the Broncos. If I could just pull you to my side a little bit.
Sell me.
Think about how good the Broncos are when they're playing their game offensively. Like in Packers game, for example. Packers Bo Nix. Packers Troy Franklin. Packers Court Sutton. Now add J.K. Dobbins and Jalen Waddle and Evan Ingram in his second year around his team and staff. I think, and Coleman, to keep the chains moving when we need somebody to just he does not go down the first time you hit him. He just doesn't.
No.
I think that offensively the Broncos are going to get just not even a little bit. I think significantly better. I think they get significantly better on offense, and I think their defense just takes another step forward.
Yeah.
So I got the Broncos beating them.
I love your take. I do, but I still think it's an L, even with those factors that you mentioned. Now, I hope that I'm wrong.
I'm bringing up this clip. I'm reposting this clip right here when we win.
He's coming for you.
What'd you say? What was that?
Hey, I'm wrong. I will eat my words, man. I will eat them for sure. But, I'm still going to take the L on this one because, I think getting this far into this.
I'll tell you what, if we did lose after winning those first three, if this was our first loss, I don't think Broncos country be in a panic. We'd be
no, not at all.
Okay.
Exactly.
Especially if it's a close game.
Right.
And I think it will be a close game.
Oh,
I'm not expecting
I
to go to
agree. It's going to be a close game.
Oh, absolutely, yeah.
I believe that game is going to come down to the last drive of the game.
I could even see that one going into overtime, like an overtime one for sure.
Now you're making me want to go to the game.
I know, right? Me too. I'm like, damn.
Yo, incomplete. Get all up in Purdy's head. You're still a 7th rounder. You're still not relevant. Oh man! Now, shout out to Purdy. That's my guy.
Yeah, he's got a great story. I love that.
Yeah.
He does. So next up, we stay on the West Coast and we head to LA, SoFi Stadium to take on the Chargers. First matchup with them of the season.
We're gonna be there for this one, so I'm excited to be there. You know, Bronco country shows out in LA, and this is going to be a home game for us. I don't even know if I need to read my takes on this because this is a win.
Yeah, I think my big thing that I'm worried about in this game, not even just the Broncos, but it's the Chargers too, which could benefit the Broncos, is what version of Herbert and Bo are we going to get in this game? Is Herbert going to be in his early season form where he's looking like the lead MVP, or is he going to be postseason form where he's 5 turnovers a game?
I hope he's 5 turnovers a game.
And where's Bo going to be at in his rehab and already in this season with this already gauntlet of a schedule coming into this already?
He'll be solid.
I agree with I think he'll be solid on that too. But that's really my biggest take of the game. But I think we sweep the Chargers this season. So I think this one's a dub.
All right.
So I think the good thing about Bo is this is an injury, and I know they kind of made it sound like it's like something he has all the time. But it's like, no, he had this in high school once, came back from it, then like 3-4 years later, he had it once in college, came back from it. Then, 3-4 years later, he has it here with the Broncos. It's like he's come back from this exact injury before.
Yep.
This isn't the kind of thing that, like, oh, man, how's he going to look? We've seen how he looked after this. It's like,
he's been there.
I heard it again. All right, cool. Yeah, I heard it again. All right, cool. I think Bo's going to be fine. I think the key for the Broncos is they got to finish. The last few times they played against the Chargers, they put a half together.
Yep.
Like both times, it was like you played great for one half.
Yeah, they
you gotta play 2 halves. Game. Play 2 halves, and you should beat that team. Now they're a better team now. They had a lot of injuries last year, especially on the O-line. They added some good pieces in the draft and free agency. I think the Chargers, especially their coaching addition, I think that was big. Getting my man from Miami as a coordinator.
McDaniel.
I think the Chargers are going to be a very competitive football team.
Yeah.
But the Broncos, Bo Nix has not beat the Broncos in so far yet, or in
Bo hasn't beat the Chargers
yet.
in SoFi.
He hasn't beat them at their crib yet, and I feel like it's time for him to do that. I think he knows that. I think he's going in there like, yo, let's get this dub, yo.
Yeah.
So I got the Broncos getting a dub, pretty convincingly, like a touchdown or better.
Yeah,
I agree. Yeah, I see that one.
So we're all taking a dub there?
Yep.
All right. I like it.
So next up, we got a short week, but we head back home, and we got the defending champion Seattle Seahawks at home Thursday Night Football. This one I think is another tough game, kind of like the Rams one. I don't think it's as tough as the Rams game, but I think it's close just because they won the Super Bowl last year. They were the best team in football, so you got to go show them that they're not the best anymore.
Yeah, they were.
Yeah, to me, this game is all about physicality. The more physical team in this game is going to get the dub in this one for sure. I think they need to start fast and just stay consistent, continue to move the chains. To me, this all also comes down to coaching and what does the scheme look like? What does the play call sheet look like for this game? Davis Webb, he needs to be prepared for this. He needs to be prepared for that Seattle defense and everything that they're going to bring. And then on the opposite side of the ball, I don't worry about Vance Joseph. I know he's going to have a solid game plan. That's a great thing about defense. Even if your game plan, kind of trips up a little bit, it's easy enough to make changes on the fly.
Oh, yeah.
And so, this is a tough one. I'm not going to share my prediction yet because I want to hear MadFanatic's take on the game before we give predictions.
Absolutely. What you got?
So I think both defenses have a really good defense.
Yes.
Right? Dark side defense is good. That Den of Thieves, Orange Rush, whatever you want to call them. I think both defenses are really good. I think losing the Super Bowl MVP is a big deal for Seattle.
Yes, I agree.
Very big deal. I think they got worse in the run game. We got better in the run game. But at the end of the day, I think that we forget they still have Sam Darnold. And I get it. Sam Darnold put some of the nonsense, some of his skeletons or monsters to bed. Winning a Super Bowl, that's a big deal. But he didn't play a team like this.
That's true.
He didn't play a team that could cover and rush. It reminds me of when we played Seattle in the Super Bowl some years ago. Don't want to really remember it, but I remember it, unfortunately. That was the first time the Broncos played a team that could rush the passer and really rush the passer and cover.
Yes.
And when you So in that Super Bowl that we watched, my man, they were getting there pretty quick, but they had one dude that could really cover in Gonzalez. I'm talking about the Patriots.
Yeah.
Yep.
They were getting there pretty quick, but Darnold's getting rid of it. Boom. So quick passes, and he executed well. He played pretty well. Though if he plays like that against the Broncos, it's not going to be enough.
Yep.
But we don't rush the passes like the Patriots. We're a different monster. And we don't cover like the Patriots. We're a different monster. They have one guy that plays like one of our guys, but we're 6 deep in the secondary. Like, we have dudes everywhere. Hufunga's who dropped like 7 picks last year. Hufunga's a dog.
He's a dog.
Brandon Jones is a dog. Mac Millen is a dog.
Yes.
Jade is going to be a dog. Even Riley is a dog.
Yes.
And we still got him for this year. I think he's going to be going next year, but right now we got him still. I think that our secondary and our pass rushers are too much for Sam Darnold to not look like old Sam Darnold. What they call him, Same Darnold, used to be his nickname.
Yeah.
He's going to look like Same Darnold when he play us because, unfortunately, he's playing the big bad wolves of the whole NFL. We could have broke the sack record easy last year. We chose the cage rush like 5 teams.
Right.
We're unselfishly like, yeah, forget the sack record. Let's just keep these guys in the pocket and cover.
Yeah.
Make them throw. We know they can't throw. Let's get the wins. But this team is ferocious up front. They don't want these problems.
No.
I got the Broncos winning. And also, let's not forget, this is a Thursday game. They're traveling. It always favors the home team.
Yes, it does.
That is
Night
true.
games.
That is true.
I got the Broncos.
All right.
Yeah, I think a big matchup in this game that would kind of be the teller of the game is PS2 and Jackson Smith-Njigba. It kind of goes back to that secondary matchup you were talking about. I think if PS2 holds his own against Njigba, which he absolutely will,
Yeah.
I think that will take away Darnold's main weapon, so it's going to make him panic, and then you throw that pass rush at him too, and he's going to be seeing ghosts again.
I'm going to be honest with you. I would trust Riley to cover Njigba. I really would. Or Jade or Mac Millen. Just because the only problem I have with Riley, obviously the grabbing at the top of routes is ridiculous. But speed, like really, really fast receivers give him trouble. But somebody like Zingba, who's a 4-5 guy, like Riley will cook that dude, in my opinion. I think Riley is a really sound, fundamental corner other than the grabbing. And if you're not faster than him, you're not really beating him.
No. Yeah, he's got that speed for sure. Got to get those hands figured out, though.
But, I mean, we probably will put PS2 on him. But even if we did,
That's true.
I think we got the advantage there.
That's true. So you got the Broncos dub against the Seahawks. What do you got?
I'm going to take a dub on this one.
Go dub?
Actually, I think it's going to be that home crowd is going to be the X factor on this one. I think we are going to beat the Super Bowl champions.
Home team. Home crowd. Yeah, we're going to be fired up.
I agree on that one. I think a Broncos dub happens right there. So then we get a little break from the gauntlet. Ends the 6-week stretch of roughness to start the season. Then we go to Arizona, and we got the Cardinals. I mean, I don't really think there's much discussion needed on this one. I think this is a big old fat W.
Yeah, I'm calling it a dub, too.
Yeah.
There's no
I think there's been a lot of Bronco fans in there, too.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, there is. There is, for sure.
Yeah, Bronco fans travel well, especially areas that are still in the West Coast area.
Yeah, that's a 10-hour drive from here.
Yeah.
Yeah, Arizona, man, there's a lot of Bronco fans that live there.
Right.
Yeah.
The
Dude, like,
snowbirds.
Arizona is a Bronco fan place for real.
So next up, we finished the season series actually with the Chiefs on this next game. The Chiefs come to town week 8. I think this is almost another big matchup. I think anytime you play the Chiefs or a big team like that are almost borderline dynasty, I think it's a big matchup.
Yeah, because you want to prove that team isn't relevant anymore, and I think that's almost where we're approaching with the Chiefs. Is their relevance is over, their dynasty is done. It's time for a new king, and like TheMadFanatic, we got that crown, and so I think that home field is going to be the biggest impact here. I think whichever team wins the turnover margin on this one is going to come out victorious. And with this defense being ball hungry like they are, Broncos win this game.
Yeah. I could see this game being a lot closer than the first one. I think Pat Mahomes will probably be he'll either be healthier or he'll be hurt because he came back too quick. One or the other. I think the game is going to be obviously huge for the division, like who's going to win the division. I think it's huge for the Broncos to go into the bye week with a dub. I think they're going to give us a fight, though. Assuming everybody's healthy, I think they're going to fight. I think they're going to want it like pretty much just as bad as us because it's going to feel like one of them ones that could like this might be it if we don't beat them now.
That's true.
And I think they're going to come up short, but I think it's going to be a close game.
It's a good take.
That is a good take. So what do you got?
It's a dub for me.
Dub? Mad Fanatic dub for you as well on that one?
Yeah.
Sweet. He wasn't lying. He said 17-0. He's got him at 8-0 right now.
Yo, here, baby. Nah, you know what?
either.
We might go 16. We might go 16-1 because we might rest the starters on the last game.
That
Okay,
is true. That could happen. That's very true.
I mean, if we're 16-0 going into that last game, let's let those dudes
No,
rest.
you got to play them. You got to get the perfect record and then do it for the first time since the Dolphins.
all the way through to win the Super Bowl. Only
got
the
to.
second team in NFL history.
I don't know, man. I feel like Sean Payton might be like, man, forget that perfect record.
Yeah, he don't care about that.
True that.
But I don't know because that would look sweet on a Hall of Fame resume.
It would.
I mean, he's already a Hall of Fame coach.
But
anyway.
but there's so much to lose. I feel like our fan base, God forbid, somebody got hurt, he would never hear the end of it.
That's true.
You know,
Yes.
they'll be
Yeah.
like, this idiot, why would you do that?
I mean, the perfect example was last year with Bo. Instead of people were saying instead of Bo taking a knee at the end of the game, he ran that quarterback sweep with Bo, and he didn't hear the end of that. So just imagine if he played the starters that last week and someone were actually get hurt.
Yeah.
He wouldn't. Yeah,
Because Pete Percy said it was the second to last play, so people thought that was the play, and they're blaming him as if he's supposed to know he's gonna. But it was actually the play before that anyway.
Right,
but,
it was. Yeah.
Yep.
You know,
But
to me,
man,
the
our
most
fans they're some of them can be brutal, man.
To me, the most
Yeah.
important game that we play is the one that's in February. That's the one that matters the most. So if
True
they
that.
sit, they sit.
True. That.
But you know what? I'm gonna be honest with you. Who's our last opponent?
The Chargers
Chargers, yeah.
at
It
home.
might be a situation where they're resting too.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Because they could have a non-wild card spot locked up out of the playoffs, knowing the Chargers probably going to happen.
Right.
Who knows, man?
Yeah, it's hard to. I can't call it. I just can't call
Yeah,
it.
it's
You
tough.
saw what they did last year.
That is
They,
true.
they just like their matchup. They were like, you know what? We like our seeding. We're resting. Who knows? And then again, assuming we got the 1 seed locked up, which obviously I'm thinking if we're 16-0,
I'd hope so.
we might have good enough backups to beat everybody else. Like,
Man,
we might be like, you know what? We got depth at running back. We don't have to throw it a lot today. And you know what? Jared Stidham with no pressure, if he's our quarterback.
Just let him air it
It's
out.
like
True.
AFC Championship's a big deal.
it's a
Game.
huge deal. There's a lot
No
of
pressure. You're already 1 seed. Go out there and just play. The game don't matter anyway. He might get the dub.
True that.
I say give it a shot if
17-0.
it comes down to it.
I
But
just do
if
it.
the
Yeah,
division
I'm back
is
to
on the line, they
17
gotta play.
Yeah.
He's back to
I'm
17.
back to 17.
He's playing.
And dressing Bo, though. I'm like, Bo, you on the bench. But if he start to lose this thing, let's go.
We're
ready
throwing
to-
you in.
Stay warm.
For sure. So, moving on to Week 9 in Carolina against the Panthers.
Yeah.
They were a playoff team last year. Obviously,
Yeah,
they won
tough.
their division, but they were still 8-9.
This is a pretty sneaky, dangerous.
They
road
did.
game for
The
us, I
Panthers
think.
got a lot better over the offseason between free agency, the draft, everything. They loaded their team up. They got Bryce Young some weapons. They got him some O-line. They solidified that defense even more. I think the Panthers win their division again, but not 8-9, maybe 12-5 this year.
actually legitimately win it instead of just by default or get that playoff spot and earn it. This, like I said, this is a sneaky, dangerous road game for us. I don't want to call it a trap game because I don't think it's a trap game. I think the Broncos have a roster that's even better than Carolina, and I think they can outlast these guys. I'm calling this a win for the Broncos.
I agree.
Yeah, I'll tell you what. I'm a little intimidated by these early East Coast games. They're just tough to adjust to playing early in the day, going across country. Especially when the team is pretty good that you're playing against.
Sure.
Historically, the Broncos can struggle in those games. But I think the Broncos there's enough of a gap in our how much better we are that even if we might just start off a little shaky, I think we'll have enough time to bounce back and figure out a way to win the game. And I think the crowd, again, I think there's a lot of Bronco fans in those surrounding states like that are look like Philly fans, like that's not that far for us. Virginia fans, that's not that far for us. I think there's gonna be a lot of Bronco fans in Carolina. I really do. And on the East Coast, that's a really cheap flight.
Yeah.
Like everywhere out here goes to North Carolina, to that airport. Like I can fly there from Connecticut for $100. So I think a lot of Bronco fans making that trip.
I can see that too.
I can see it, yeah.
Lots of orange in that stadium. I love that.
So I got the dub. Broncos winning.
Of course you got the dub. You already told us. 17-0.
Got the Broncos winning the bye week, getting the most rest, more rest than anybody else.
They're the best at resting.
Before we move on to the schedule breakdown, we're going to get another quick word from our sponsor.
Listen, buying a home is a complicated process. Don't go at it alone. Make sure that you have an expert in your corner. Pathway Home Lending and Real Estate is that expert for you. Our local team is here to help you navigate that process. Give us a call at 303-748-3799 or hit us up on the website, pathwayhomelending.com.
So after the Panthers game, the Broncos get much needed rest and head into their bye week. And then we got our first matchup with the Raiders this year, week 11, at home. Do you guys think this will be Cousins or Mendoza at this time in the season?
Ooh, that's a great question. I would not be surprised to see Mendoza this late in the season. Or, kind of halfway-ish through the season.
Same thing. If he doesn't start week 1. I think Mendoza is not – he's a very polished quarterback. He had a decent amount of reps in college. I could see Kirk holding him off for a little while, but I definitely don't see him holding him off for 11 weeks.
Yeah, no, I think by like 5 or 6 is when Mendoza comes in.
Yep.
When is the Raiders bye week? Do you know off the top of your head? If you don't know it off the top of your head,
I can get that pulled up real quick, though.
Yeah, because I think that could be a turning point for this team. I don't know. To me, honestly, it doesn't matter who's playing quarterback for that game. Kirk Cousins, Mendoza, bring either one of them. Bring them both. They could split reps if they want to. I don't care.
Yeah, we're still beating them.
Yeah, absolutely.
We're still beating them. They're a better team, but they're not that much better.
No. I think they're going to be 1 or 2 games better over last year, and that's about it.
Yeah, so the Raiders have a late bye. They have a week 13 bye week this year.
2 weeks after. Okay.
Yeah.
So, it doesn't matter to me.
No, I think – I mean, if anything, what do the Raiders really have to lose by playing Mendoza this season?
Nothing.
Besides risking him for an injury or something. But, I mean, the Raiders have a decent team to put around Mendoza right now in this moment. Throw him on the field. I think he could compete just as much, if not better, than Cousins could right now.
Yeah.
I think confidence is probably the main thing. You don't want to throw him out there before he's confident. But also, I think if they want to be competitive, you look at Kirk Cousins, it's like you can pencil in almost an 8-8 type of season, 7-9 with Kirk, just because he's like a stabilizing force.
Right. He's a game
manager.
manager.
Make a lot of stupid mistakes. He's a great game manager. He really is. He doesn't make a lot of mistakes. They got solid run game. They upgraded their O-line tremendously. They got some receivers. They got Bowers, incredible tight end. And their defense made some strides. And their coaching looked like it might be okay. I think they're going to be more competitive. And even in the games last year, like they lost a lot of games that were like, they weren't getting blown out. They were close. They were close games.
They were hanging in there with
you look at like Mendoza or Kirk Cousins compared to Geno, I think Kirk is way better than Geno. But I could be wrong. I could be wrong because Geno on Seattle looked all right. It might have just been the Raiders are actually that bad.
That is very true. It's probably the Raiders are just that bad.
Might be that bad.
Yeah, I'm curious to see, with Clint Kubiak stepping into that role now, what the offensive scheme is actually going to look like. That's kind of
Clint looked great with Seattle.
Yeah, right. And that's what I'm wondering if that can translate into this roster.
And he seemed like a cool dude. And a lot of people talk about him, say he's like a leader of men.
Yeah.
They could mess around and be like 9-7. I think this is probably their ceiling this year.
Yeah, well, that's crazy to think about just the Raiders in a short amount of time going from the first pick to be having a 500 or if not better record just a year later.
I mean, if they're 9-7, imagine how bunched up this division is going to be.
Yeah.
Yeah.
17-0. 9-7.
So moving on to Week 12, that brings us to Black Friday against the Steelers in Pittsburgh.
This is going to be that old school physical football game. Punch him in the mouth, smash mouth football.
Well, remember, we're not going to get the typical Steelers team we've seen for years prior with Mike Tomlin. They got Mike McCarthy in there now, re-signed Rodgers, and Mike McCarthy likes to throw that ball.
Who's going to throw it?
And they added some weapons.
They got Aaron Rodgers.
They added some weapons at receiver, too.
Yep.
They did. They definitely have some depth in that receiver room.
But they're young weapons.
Yeah, and is there going to be a vibe? You know, that's got to be the thing. When you take an old quarterback and young receivers, it usually doesn't mix well.
And especially with Aaron Rodgers, he's known to turn off his receivers, like just with his demeanor and attitude, and his receivers don't want to play for him. So,
God bless you.
Yeah, I could definitely see that kind of season panning out for the Steelers, a drama-filled one with Rodgers in his last year for sure.
You know, I want to see Aaron Rodgers ride out on a high, but this game against the Broncos isn't going to be that high. It's going to be the low light of his season.
And I mean, we've always had Rodgers' number. He's never really played well against us.
Nope. I don't see it happening either.
So I'm with you. I'm predicting that the Broncos win, but it's a trap game. Speaking of trap games, I think, man, a Friday after Thanksgiving dinner, Friday afternoon, that might be kind of like super whack, yo. Like, I don't like that at all.
Yeah.
East Coast Friday afternoon after Thanksgiving is like super random. I think that was a whack scheduling decision. Like,
Black Friday games.
Man,
I don't like it either.
On a Friday afternoon, like, I think that's weird. Like, if it was a night game, great. But 3 p.m. after Thanksgiving, that's super weird. Like, I was gonna go to that game. It's like an 8-hour drive, but I'm like, I don't even want to. Like, I'm not gonna rush and leave my dinner to go get there for an afternoon game. It's just weird. I think the Broncos are still a better team.
Of course.
But they have some pieces. They have some pieces on defense. Aaron's getting older and older, though. And I think Father Time is undefeated, right? I watched what happened with Champ Bailey.
Yes.
I watched what happened with Peyton Manning.
Yep.
Like, it just, like, I get it. Tom Brady played till he was 45, but that's it. Nobody else has ever been good at 42 years old, ever.
Nope.
In the history of football, nobody.
No.
At quarterback has ever been good at 42. Do I think Aaron Rodgers is already showing signs of he's slowing down? He's not Aaron anymore. Yes. So he's not going to outrun anybody anymore. His arm still looks pretty pure, but every year it's got to get a little worse, right?
Yeah,
Absolutely.
No joke. I'm going to actually drop a hot take on this game right now.
What you got?
I'm predicting that Aaron Rodgers isn't even playing in this game.
Who do you think?
He's already
I
hurt.
think he's going to have an injury earlier in the season that's going to put him out.
So you got either Drew Aller or who's the guy they drafted last year? I can't think of his name.
I have no idea.
Do they still have Mason, though?
Yeah, they got Mason
Mason
Rudolph. Yeah, they got Mason Rudolph.
Yeah.
Will Howard from Ohio State.
Will Howard.
That's
okay.
who they drafted last year.
Yeah, no, I don't think that matters. I think this is a Bronco win, and Aaron Rodgers is not playing in this game.
Yeah, I'm going with a W, too.
Yeah.
Probably an ugly one, though.
Definitely an ugly W, for sure.
I think it'll be a sloppy W.
So let's get a quick little record update. So we got MadFanatic, obviously, at 11-0.
11-0, man.
And then me and you both have them at 10-1. So we only have one loss for the Broncos so far on
In
this
11
schedule.
games.
Yep.
Wow.
So we're not too far behind MadFanatic on this one. We
Okay.
only got one loss.
What did we come up with the other day in the car when we broke this out?
We came up with it. We had the Broncos going 13-4.
Okay.
But more realistically, we thought 12-5.
Okay, that's right.
But as of right now, we have them at 10-1.
10-1. I think he's rubbing off on us. MadFanatic
he is.
swaying our
I
decisions
think he is.
over
There
here.
we go.
It's not a bad thing.
It's not. So week 13, at home, we got the Dolphins. Again, not much discussion on this one. Young team, not a lot of pieces. I think this one's a huge Broncos dub. I think it's a get back for that 70-20 game a couple of years ago. I think this is going to be our version of the 70-20 game.
Yeah,
It could be.
I don't know that it's going to be that big of a blowout. It's definitely going to be a commanding win, but
I think like a 40-10 game is what I'm thinking.
I'm going to go like 27-10.
You got a low scoring one, all right.
Yeah.
What about you, MadFanatic? You got anything on this one?
I think it could easily, like, we were good enough to beat them by that much, but I don't know if Sean is going to take the bait. You know what I mean? I think we might coach just to be like, bro, get out of here. Nobody hurt. Just win the game.
Yeah, because that is also a whole complete different coaching staff in Miami now than that hung 20 or that hung 70 on us. So Sean
And even
McVay
then,
doesn't even have the
they
bench
showed
for that.
mercy in that 70.
Right, they sure did.
Like, they were like, "Yo, chill, don't break the record on them."
Yeah.
Like, listen, we don't got to do that to them.
Oh God,
They really could have beat us worse.
They
I was
could've.
at that game. It was miserable.
terrible
Yeah, that
game.
was. So then, obviously, all Broncos dub on that one. So MadFanatic moves to 12-0 in his Bronco predictions, and then we go to 11-1.
11-1. Woo!
So
I
now
like it.
we
I
go.
wouldn't be mad at 11-1 right
Me
now.
neither.
I wouldn't either. I'll take it. So now week 14, we head out to the East Coast to take on the Jets in New York. You said earlier this could be a trap game for you. How are you feeling at this point in the season with your record about that trap game feeling?
I still think it's a trap game. I think that this team, at this point, if they're 11-1, they're going to be cocky as hell, and I think they're going to come into it a little overconfident, and I think that's what's going to trip them up. I'm not saying that they're going to lose, but
Ugly win. Very ugly win.
if it is a win, it's an ugly win. I'm talking like a 9-6 type of game.
Almost like last year, yeah.
I think if we're 12-0 coming into this game, which I think we will be, I think that the Broncos have become the kind of team that they don't play no games. They don't sleep on nobody. They don't underestimate. They just play their game every time. They've become that kind of team that, like, this is business. They got their little lunch pail, their hard hat, and they're about their business every week. Because if they were going to have that trip up, I'm feeling myself game, they might have had that week 8, week 7. You know what I mean? If they did it 12 straight at this point, they're not losing to the Jets.
That's true.
I don't think.
Yeah, I don't
Even
think
though they
they're
made some
losing.
positive strides, they're a terrible team.
Oh, they're awful. It's a terrible
They're,
franchise.
like, they had no turnovers last year, not one. No interceptions the whole season.
Awful.
The fact that they were close to us last year is crazy.
Yeah, that's rough.
That's my concern this year. Now I'm hoping they learned from that game last year and I'm wrong. I love when I'm wrong, so please.
But we were on that emotional high of just having our first moment of, like, you know what? We're some fighters.
Yeah.
We just
right.
beat the champs, and then we had to fly all the way overseas. I think we were just drained emotionally.
That's true.
And
Yeah.
kind of
Valid,
like, let's just
very
do
valid
enough
point.
to get the win today.
Yep.
Came out, stupid fumble with Troy Franklin. Like, it just wasn't our day.
And those European games are always rough. It doesn't matter if it's the Broncos or any team you watch. Every team always struggles in those games. I feel like it's just the time difference, the travel, everything. It's just rough to
sloppy.
play.
Yeah, your body's tight. You ever fly for 9 hours?
Yep, absolutely.
Like, you're stiff, you're tired. It's like there's no way around it.
Takes
And
a
I get
good
it. They
week.
got there a little early, but they were sightseeing. They were, you know what I mean? They're like,
Yep.
Takes a week to recover from that long of a flight.
Yeah, and they have about a week until the time they land until they play, so it's not even really enough.
and they're so out of routine. Like, football players thrive on routine. In that particular situation, they left the Philly. They went for a road trip to Denver to Philly, and then went straight from Philly to London.
Yeah.
They didn't go home. They didn't sleep in their bed. They're way off.
Yeah,
you know what I
it's
mean?
tough.
They're like they're living in a different time zone than another different time zone. It's
And
like
then
they
on
were
a
just
different
out of
country,
rhythm.
different continent.
It's rough.
Not in their facility practicing. It's just everything's different.
Yeah, it's rough. So, I'm really glad we don't have an international game this year on the
Me
schedule.
too. Me too. So we all got a collective Jets dub.
Yep.
Sweet.
We're beating the Jets.
So then we stay on the road, but go from the East Coast to West Coast and go to Vegas and take on the Raiders in our final matchup with them of the season in Allegiant Stadium. I'm going to just come out. I think we lose this game. I think this is our trap game of the year, and I think we lose. We always struggle in Allegiant Stadium against the Raiders, and I think this year it happens again, and I just think it's a rough game.
Let me ask you a question, sir.
What's up?
When you say always, and when you say we, are you talking about this Denver Broncos team?
I'm talking about the last 6 seasons Denver Broncos in
Because the
Allegiant.
last season, Denver Broncos beat them pretty handedly at that stadium.
They did. The offense struggled in that game still. Quite a bit, but a little bit. At first they were clicking, but then they stalled out the last part of the
I think
last
they
part
just
of the
took
game.
their foot off the gas, like, oh, we got it.
But against a division opponent, you can never do that. That's not acceptable, especially
But
against the Raiders.
there was never one moment in that game, from the moment it started to the moment it ended, not one moment where there was any inkling they could lose this game.
No, but also look at that Raiders team last year. I don't think any team that the Raiders played last year felt that way against the Raiders at any point. I think every team against the Raiders was, we're going to win this game.
We're beating them in Alliance Stadium or Legion, whatever they're called.
I think it's a close game. I think it's a close game, and it's an ugly game, and we almost pull it out. But I think we lose.
You told me this is a home game. This is Empower Field 2.0, you said.
That was me. I said that.
That was him.
Oh, okay.
And because of that, I'm taking the win.
Me too. Convincingly.
Yes, I think it's going to be a convincing win, too.
I think it's a trap game, but it's all right.
I think we're going to beat them down.
So the next up, we got the Christmas Day game against the Bills at home.
Ooh, at home, though.
I like it. At home. I think this is probably one of the I think this is probably one of the most anticipated matchups.
Bills fans do not like the Broncos.
No. And it was an interception, by the way.
It was an interception.
It was an interception.
Josh is going to ball out.
Yeah.
I think Josh is going to ball.
He is going to ball out. That's my concern, is him coming here and just balling out, trying to prove a point.
That's going to be a game.
I think that's a rivalry brewing, and I think we take it. It's at home. If it was in Buffalo, especially since they're getting that new stadium this year, if it was in Buffalo, it'd be a completely different game in Buffalo's favor. But since it's here on Christmas Day, it's going to be a Broncos dub.
I got a hot take, though, for this game.
Give it to us.
First of all, I think the Bills are going to take a giant step back this year. I think they're going to see, like, what a stabilizing force Sean McDermott was for that team.
Yep.
Like, he got the heat for not being – like, he's like a John Harbaugh type of guy to me. He's not that exciting, but he's going to keep you in the mix every year. And now you went and got some dude you hope is exciting, get you over the hump, and I think you're going to take a step back. I think DJ Moore isn't a real number one pick. I think their defense was already way better than people are giving them credit for. I think they were like number one against the run, right? Like, they weren't a bad defense. People were acting like they were terrible. They weren't. To repeat that is going to be tough. Yes. And I think the Broncos, it's crazy. Like, we did not play a great game on defense last year at all. And we forced 5 turnovers and won the game. But we really couldn't stop them. And I think this year, they're not going to be able to stop us. What I saw from their pass defense was suspect. And what I see from our pass offense this year, what I see in my mind is like, I don't know how anybody's stopping us from getting first downs. The red zone is the only thing. Like, are we going to convert in the red zone? And I think with Jonah Coleman at the goal line, I think, you can't really double court like you used to. I just think, this team's going to be really hard to keep out the end zone, especially keep from moving the chains. I think every drive we're going to get, at least 3.
All right, so full disclosure, my notes had this game as a loss for us.
Oh, man.
But listening to you talk right there, you made a good point with the coaching change and everything that you just mentioned, because I have the same notes as far as the red zone. I said finish red zone trips. That's exactly what it says in here. And avoid explosive Buffalo plays is the other note that I had on here. My X factor for this game is none other than Bo Nix. If this dude can elevate his game to the level we all expect him to, we said Josh is going to ball out, but I think Bo is going to ball out in a big way in this game.
Bo's going to have to for us to win this game.
Absolutely. So because
of that, I'm curious too about. Go ahead.
I was going to just say, because of all that, I'm actually going to make this a Broncos win.
Yes.
As you should.
I'm curious to see the step that Jade takes this year.
We talked about that too.
Because I think Jade could be a difference maker for us, man. If we can even find a way to get all 4 of them dudes, the dime packages, to have all 4 of those dudes out there at the same time, with Riley, PS2, Macmillan, and Jade on a lot, and him being more of a focal point, I'm excited about that. I really am.
You know what I wish?
I think we're going to do a lot better against him.
I wish Jade was a bigger body, because he might be the ideal tight end coverage
in that nickel position for
secondary.
Sure. Yep.
But you know what though? You think that, and I thought that too. But man, that first play he lined up on Bowers, I was like, whoa. Bowers just went right by him. I was like, yo, where's our first round pick, man? He just said,
that's why his PS2 ended up on Bowers.
Yeah.
So I don't know. We'll see. I would love to see him step up.
From what I saw on tape, actually watching him play, because coming out, I'm like, I don't know. He might be a slot guy. He might be a specialist.
Yes.
He might could do anything. But when I actually watched him last year, I'm like, he's an outside corner.
Yeah.
Even Vance said, man, when that one game when PS2 was hurt or whatever, well, he was hurt for a stretch, but he played one game where he started on the outside, and he goes, there's the first-round pick.
Right.
And he was saying because in the slot, it's a lot of thinking. It's a lot of, I need to know where do I go when this guy does this, where does it. On the outside, you're like, I got to cover this guy. We're on an island, it's me and him. Just don't let him beat you.
You're right.
And he looked so much more suited to be an outside corner to me in that game. And that's why I was like, well, if he goes to outside, he's a little more athletic than Riley.
Yes.
I think McMillan is the best slot corner, at least top 2 slot corners in football. So that's why I say,
absolutely.
like, Riley might be the odd man out unless we keep him around for depth. But Riley might want a payday.
He's going to
You're not
want
going
to
to pay him like he's going to get paid somewhere.
Yeah, this is Riley Moss's last season as a Denver Bronco. I'm pretty confident about that.
I think so. Or McMillan's. And I think if we got to choose between McMillan and Riley, you got to pick McMillan.
Yeah, any choice besides McMillan is the wrong decision in that one.
Actually, here's another hot take for you guys. I would not be surprised to see Riley Moss traded this season.
That's before the trade deadline.
Yep.
Absolutely.
That would hurt my soul, though.
Right.
I love Riley.
I love the depth. Even though we got the other guy, too, Chris Abrams-Drain.
Yeah.
Yep.
Like, we got a couple dudes that Mathis, we got a couple corners that are like, we got some depth here.
We do. And I think that's why
Riley
he's
is like
a good
the
trade.
best depth.
Yeah.
Riley is like a true, like, number 2 on, like, every team except ours.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's going to be tough to watch him go, but, I mean, we just can't pay him and afford him. So
I think we are going to, and honestly, I think we should use him as trade bait and see what we can do.
Yep.
I mean, if you could get a second,
yeah,
that'd be huge, yeah.
But if you trade in like a 4th, man,
no,
not even worth it.
It's got to be.
Let's get the ring with him. I want to get a ring with him. You know,
All right. But the question is, are you going to lose him at the end of the year anyway? Are we going to be able to afford to pay him? I think that answer is no. So
but don't lose him and not get that ring.
No, absolutely.
That's true.
You know,
right. I hope he stays around, but I could see him being a trade bait type of player for us before that trade cut off.
Absolutely. So moving on to week 17. This is a back-to-back weeks of heater games here. We got the Patriots in New England.
Ooh,
is
praying
right.
we win it.
I think this game could decide the AFC. Who goes into the playoffs as the 1 or 2 seed?
Man, Patriots not going 16-0.
No, they're not, and I don't think
They're gonna lose a couple before
I don't
this.
think the Patriots are going to have the run that they had last year. I think that people have figured out Drake May now, and just look at the tail end of the season. Defensive.
They had a really easy schedule. Like I get it, we kind of had an easy schedule too.
They
had
stupid
easy, yeah.
And so I don't think the Patriots are going to have the success that they had last year. I see this team as kind of a bubble team that may not even make the playoffs.
Really? Okay. I think the Broncos win this game.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah, but I think it's definitely going to be a interesting and fun one because this is the first time we're going to see Drake versus Bo, as long as everything pans out right throughout the season.
Yeah.
This is a night game, right?
No, this is a day one. It's scheduled for 1 p.m. on Sunday.
I don't like it.
Yeah.
Which is wild that it is a.
Maybe they'll flex it.
That late in the season, I think they can. It'll still be on Sunday, but it could be flexed to that Sunday night game. And that depends on what the Patriots are doing. We know the Broncos. We know where they're going to be, right? They're going to be, at this point, 16-0. Well, 15-0 coming into this game.
He's got him 16-0. You're 15-1. I'm 14-2 at this point. So
where the Patriots sit.
I got a win, and I'm thinking it'll probably be a very physical game and probably pretty competitive. Cold. They hit hard in the cold. Like I think about that game that they played. What was that night game they were playing when they had like the American-looking jerseys on? And they were just smacking everybody. Like, you could hear their hits through the TV so loud.
I think that was like the Ravens game last year.
Yeah. Yes, it was. Yep. I think this – no, it was the Giants.
It was
the Giants.
Yeah, it was the Giants game.
Giants game. They were smacking people. I feel like it could be one of those kind of games. Certainly competitive, certainly physical, but I think the Broncos will get it done. I think our team is going to be really, really good, like special good, like undefeated season good.
I love that take, man. It gets me excited, honestly. It gets me so excited.
So going into the last week of the season, at home, we got the Chargers. Where we have them now, this game obviously isn't going to impact like the division or really anything because the Broncos should have the AFC West and the number 1 seed wrapped up at this point of the season.
Yeah, based on all of our predictions.
Based on our predictions,
right.
yeah.
Yeah, this game is one of those ones that I hope isn't going to make or break the division for us. I hope that we already have it in hand, but it could be that, right? It could be like winner of this game takes the division, and I hope we've got a couple game stretch or a couple game lead over the Chargers going into this game. I think the keys to this game are really going to be our defense and how much that they can step up and force turnovers against this Chargers team. I think that's going to be the X factor.
Yeah, I just don't believe in Herbert, man. I see talent. Like, he has these flashes of, like, bro, he could be one of the best.
Yeah.
And then it's like he can't sustain it.
Nope. He's got
Like,
some decision-making
He comes
issues.
back down to earth, and you're like, nah, you kind of regular, bro. You just have moments, like Devin Booker. I love Devin Booker. He has flashes where I'm like, he could be one of the best. But then it's like,
Great
nope. And
comparison.
especially in big moments, he folds up. So I don't know if this would be a big moment. According to me, we're 16-0 at this point. It's just a matter of, like, are we going to play our starters? Probably not. Can we still beat them with our backup? Maybe. I got the Broncos winning a dub with the backups. Keep the perfect season going. Let's go.
All right.
Dub with the backups.
Yeah, I got this as a dub too, just because it is a home game and it's hard to beat the Denver Broncos at home. And so I don't think the Chargers have the squad to do it. So I'm going with the win.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to go with the win too. So with that, let's give the final records
Okay,
from
what are
each
we
of
looking
us.
at?
So I have the Broncos going 15-2
Okay.
throughout the season.
What was your two? What was your second loss? Oh, the Raiders.
Yeah, so I got them losing to the Niners and Raiders. And the Raiders' loss is in Vegas.
And I had them at 16-1, right?
You got them at 16-1 with your loss being to the Niners.
to the Niners.
And then MadFanatic has them at 17-0. Perfect. Undefeated through the regular season.
Let's go.
I like it.
I love it. I love the
I like it.
optimism.
All right. So, after the season, or after breaking down the schedules, I want to know some hot takes that you guys have for the season for the Broncos.
Oh man, I gave mine during as we were going.
Was
through
that
the
your
games.
hot take?
Yeah, like Riley Moss being traded. Aaron Rodgers not playing in that game. So I gave mine already. What do you guys got?
I got my hot take is that Troy Franklin is going to emerge
Yes.
as the number 2 receiver. I think he's going to actually finish the season with more yards than Jalen Waddle.
All right. Okay.
I love that take.
All right.
That is hot.
Yeah, I'm a Oregon fan for college, so seeing Bo and Troy do that and take over the Broncos would be
Yeah.
sweet.
I think he's going to start off with limited opportunities because, they're going to try to get Waddle in there. They gave up a lot for him. But I think he's going to make the most of his opportunities, that it's going to force them to give him more looks. And I think he's going to keep being like, man, they'll be on the field together, all three, a lot.
Yeah.
But I think he'll keep being the one that's open. And eventually teams are going to start being like, you know what? Let's pay more attention to Troy because he's really the one cooking us.
I see a trend happening, though, and I don't know if you guys see the same thing, too. I see that Marvin Mims' role on this team is starting to get diminished, especially with the addition of Jalen Waddle. I think that Marvin's a very dynamic player, but he's really struggled to find his role on the team.
Yeah, I think they're very similar in stature, in speed. Like their combines are almost identical, him and Waddle, Mims and Waddle. But the fact that they got Waddle lets me know, like, it showed me what I saw on tape already. Like Waddle, like Mims is an electric player and he'll give you a play here and there, but he's not a receiver. Like in a lot of ways, like he doesn't do the little receiver things. Like, yo, run your route like you're getting the ball every time.
Yes.
You know what I mean? Like a lot of times he's like, I don't think I'm getting it. And he starts to quit on his route and then here comes the ball and he's like, bro, keep running.
Yes, run your route.
You have to keep playing the whole play. And he does those kind of things. I think all the players have certain things that I'm like, man, you got to work on this, you got to work on that. But I felt like they wanted Mims to take a step last year.
And he
just
did.
did.
Yep, I agree
Just
with you.
did. I think Pat, his only concern, like he's the opposite. He's got none of the athleticism that Marvin Mims has, like the electricity, the explosion, but he does all the little things.
Yeah.
Like he waits till the last second to put his hands out when he's getting the ball, when the ball's coming in, so he doesn't like allow the DB to cheat and go, okay, the ball's coming over here. He waits, boom, puts it out. He does little things like that, stops on a dime on his breaks. Even though he's not fast, it helps him run even crispier routes. One of the things about Troy Franklin, for example, he's one of the dudes. He starts to get like momentum speed. Like once his feet are going, they're going, but he doesn't stop quick at all. He takes a while to slow down,
You're right.
so he doesn't get in and out of breaks quick. So it's like everybody's got a little something. Obviously, Court sometimes can take a while to get going.
Yes.
Speed-wise, lacks separation, but he can still beat you when you're all over him.
He's the big body.
Yep.
Yeah. I think Waddle's got the in and out, I can do everything. I may not want to get hit across the middle, but, man, he'll catch it and make you miss. And he'll stop, and he'll go, and he'll stop. Like, he brings an element that the other guys just don't bring.
Exactly, and it's that deep threat, that the ability to actually spread the field.
Yep.
Yeah, I mean, Troy can stretch the field, Mims can stretch the field, but, like, the stop and go is, like, it's not there. And the nuance for being a receiver with Mims is, like, and it's crazy because in Oklahoma, he was a pretty good receiver.
He was.
But for the most part, they did rely on his athleticism.
Right.
It was just like, yo, kind of just go crazy.
Not
We'll throw it to
necessarily
you.
his receiving skills.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
And he knew he was getting it.
Yeah.
I think that messes him up, too, not getting a lot of opportunities. He kind of like, I'm probably not getting it. But you got to treat every opportunity like, bro, if this is your only opportunity,
Yes.
play it like you want to make the most of it, and you'll get more opportunities.
Definitely.
I like it.
Yes.
So my hot take
Good call.
for the year is that Nick Bonito breaks the franchise single season sack record and wins Defensive Player of the Year.
Woo, that is
Hold
a
on.
hot take.
What's the sack record for the Broncos? 19 and a half, Elvis Dumerville?
Dumerville, yeah, 19 and a half. So Bonito would have to have 20.
Sheesh.
20
That's
sacks.
a heck of a year on this defense with all them dudes.
Yep, that's my hot take. I think
Wow.
Bonito, he's only been getting better and better year by year, and I think this is going to be his breakout year.
He disappeared at the end of last season.
And I think that's kind of sitting with
A lot
him.
of it was by design, too, though.
Yeah.
Like, they decided to cage rush. And I didn't love that, to be
No, I
honest
didn't
with you.
either. I don't
With a
like it,
team
though.
like that's this ferocious, like, don't play scared, bro.
Nope.
Don't play like, well, I'm scared they'll get busy on us. Bruh, go get the quarterback,
Yeah.
man. Stop overthinking.
Absolutely.
Just get the quarterback. Put
I couldn't
pressure on
agree
these
more.
young dudes. They'll force turnovers.
Continue to be aggressive. It doesn't matter what the score of the game is or who your opponent is. Be aggressive.
Yep.
Yeah. Bonito is nasty, man.
He is
He is.
nasty. That's
I'm
a
telling
that's a take, man.
I think-
I'm rooting for
What do
it.
you think about Vaughn? You think Vaughn coming?
I love Vaughn. When I first started getting into like graphic design and stuff, I actually made a edit of Von Miller, and he replied to it, and that was like NFL players aren't commonly known for that.
You
so
were what, like 14?
it
or
was
something?
the OTA or the training camp the year after we won the Super Bowl.
Okay.
So 2016.
All right.
Yeah, and I would love for Vaughn to come
Yeah,
back.
you were 14.
Yeah. So I'd love for Vaughn to come back, but he'd obviously be a depth piece more than anything.
Yeah.
Leadership in the locker room.
He'd mainly be in maybe third downs to rush.
I
but-
want Vaughn back. I want
I
him to
do
retire
too,
as a
man. I
Bronco.
used to be. I was a little on the fence about this because Vaughn is like he's famous, right?
Yeah.
So the only thing is like he's got an ego. He's not gonna play special teams. He wants to be paid. Like he's still not some regular dude. And this team is full of dogs.
He's not taking
But-
a vet minimum, that's for sure.
But bro, when he's on that field, like the difference between young Vaughn, and Vaughn now is young Vaughn could just keep going.
You're right.
He can do it a lot of plays a game. This Vaughn, he picks and chooses his spots.
Yeah.
But he's still going to beat this dude a couple times.
Oh,
and
he's
in
going
big
to.
games, Vaughn going to show up, man. His
Oh, of course he
PFF
is.
grade last year was 85.5.
That
That's
man,
9 sacks.
That man destroyed Cam Newton's
He had more
entire
sacks than
life,
Jonathan Cooper last year on a team that never had a lead.
which is crazy.
Crazy. Crazy. He picks and chooses his spots, but I think he'll teach people a lot. A lot of his pass rushing moves, a lot of his preparation, a lot of his little tells, even though he's already teaching everybody his pass rush camps. I think someone like Nick Bonito, who like idolized him growing up, will hang on his every word, apply
For sure.
everything. I think it could be really it could be beneficial for this team, man.
I think he'd be a great locker room addition, and I still think he would be impactful on certain
He
you know,
would.
situations.
I think big games, playoff games, like I think back to when we played Buffalo in Buffalo. He was giving both fits.
Oh, yeah.
Oh yeah.
He was coming in there and messing stuff up. And I was like, yo, Vaughn can still Vaughn. For a few plays a game, he can
Yes.
Vaughn. He's just not going to do it all day.
No,
you don't got
no,
that
not
kind
at
of
all.
motor no more.
I hope we do sign him. I really do. I'm waiting for that
I
notification.
think we got the room. We got the room in our salary cap right now to do it.
We do, depending on what he wants. Well, I mean, even if we're not going to give him a
I think we could probably get him like $4 million.
If we get him there, then I think that's doable. Will he take $4 million? I don't know.
Yeah, he might want like 8.
Probably.
But I think if he really want to come to Denver for real, like he's acting like he does, just be honest with him. Like, listen, Vaughn, you're dope. You know, we'd love to have you. This is what we can afford.
Yeah, this is your home. Come on home.
You're around or not, bro. You want to win another ring, which is with the team that drafted you? We'd love to have you.
Yes.
Yeah.
We won't let you play special teams. You know, we'll let you be that mentor type of dude, but in big moments, we're going to let you eat. We know what you're still capable of. I think he might take it. Just by being flattered and wanted, it might mean a lot to him. Because remember, this is the team that like discarded him a little bit.
Yeah, he felt
that's true.
So I feel like just knowing they want you back might mean something to him.
Yeah,
that's true.
And we know he wants to come back.
That'd be nice. We're all welcome to it, Vaughn. If you're watching, we want you here.
Man, Vaughn, if you're watching this, you need to come on the podcast with us, Brandon.
Do that. So that is going to wrap up our episode on breaking down the Broncos schedule. Before we get to the outro, we just wanted to take a quick second and say thank you to TheMadFanatic for taking time out of his day to hop on the podcast with us and break down the Broncos. We really appreciate it. We've been huge fans of yours for such a long time, and being able to sit here and talk football with you has been honestly amazing. And I feel like we're going to start building an even better relationship through all of this too.
Great. Yeah, what you got going on, MadFanatic? Tell us what you got coming up, man.
Man, football season right around the corner. I'm excited. I got some new songs in the works. I might do a little EP. I'm thinking about doing Year of the Horse Part 2. I might, because that was one of my classic albums back in the day. You might not know nothing about that. You was probably like 12 years old back then. But yeah, man, I'm putting together a tour, a watch party tour. So people that have like big fan groups all over the United States, I'm just inviting them like, hey, you want to book me to come host your watch party? I'll host your party. Play some music during the timeouts and stuff, and then perform a halftime show at halftime. So starting to get the bookings together for that. I'm excited about all the places that's going to take me just to connect with more fans. And, of course, the Bronco Gang is still growing. The gang, if you don't got your flag, you got to go join Bronco Gang. Diehard fans, the gang just continues to grow, man. It's crazy. We got members in all 50 states, 30 different countries. Wow. Crazy.
Gang.
Crazy.
Love it.
The Bronco Gang weekend coming up as well. I want to say it's the weekend of our first preseason game. That Friday, I'm going to do a watch party at this restaurant and bar where I did my thing last time. I forgot what it's called. My bad. Some bar in Thorian. Sorry. I'm sorry to the people. But and then Saturday, we're going to play flag football, have a huge cookout outside, bouncy houses for the kids and all that stuff like we always do every year. It's free. Everybody's invited. Pull up.
We're coming through. That's going to be here in Thornton.
Yep.
Okay.
Both events will be in Thornton. Yep.
All right.
Yeah, so before we get to the outro, we're going to take another word from our sponsor.
Yeah, Pathway Home Lending and Real Estate. You know, you guys, I say it a lot, but you know, it's a tough market out there, and you need a professional to guide you through this tough market. Give us a call. We're happy to help. 303-748-3799, or hit us up on the website pathwayhomelending.com.
Nice.
Thank you guys so much all for watching, listening on YouTube, Apple Podcast, Spotify Podcast, wherever you're listening, watching from. Thank you. Make sure to like and subscribe. Make sure to follow Mountain Sports on all social medias. Make sure to follow us on social media. And make sure to follow TheMadFanatic on social media. Keep track of all his music that he's coming out with.
Great follow.
And all those events he's coming out with. If you're a Bronco fan, that sounds like the place to be during the season. Again, make sure to like, subscribe, turn on post notice so you stay informed when the podcasts come out. Next one, are the Avs going to be Stanley Cup champions?
Ooh.
Who knows? Tune in to the next episode. But wherever you're watching, hope you have a good day, good afternoon, and good night.
MadFanatic, thanks for being here, brother. We appreciate you so much, man.
Appreciate you, man.
Thank you all for watching.